Sports games often get a bad rap for being annual updates with only slightly improved gameplay or rosters, and in many cases this is rightly justified. However, sports games are not the only game genre which sometimes attempts to put a slight twist on a tried and tested game, and nowhere else can this be seen any clearer than in puzzle games. Sure, there are games such as Tetrasphere and Wetrix which take a classic formula and give it a modern twist, but then there are also games like the new Tetris which offer very little over previous iterations of the game. Dr. Mario 64 falls into this category, which has taken an age-old gameplay style and does little else than give it a new lick of paint before pushing it onto store shelves. Developed by Newcom and published by Nintendo in late 2001, this late N64 title should, and perhaps could have been a great send-off for puzzle games on the generation of gaming. Instead, if you've played any previous Dr. Mario game, you'll be wondering why exactly this title needs to exist. When first playing this game, you'll be hard pushed to notice any differences aside from the graphics over the NES or Super Nintendo versions which came out years earlier. You have a jar full of viruses, and using megavitamins of various colours, you must rotate, twist and turn these to form up lines of 4 or more parts of the same colour to eradicate them. This all sounds simple, but very much like Tetris, trying to get the vitamins lined up and matching is where the challenge comes in. As they fall from the top of the screen, you often have just moments to make split-second decisions about your next move. If you hit the top of the screen by running out of room or options, then the game's over. So you may be wondering, what exactly is new here in Dr. Mario 64? Well, there are just 1 or 2 new game modes. Firstly, the Flash mode sees you have to attack and kill certain viruses on the screen in order to win. This slightly increases the challenge. Rather than going after all the viruses, you'll have to just aim for 1 or 2 which you need to work your way towards. Secondly, the game's main story mode is interesting, but does little aside from putting some context into the matches. Essentially, you play as either Mario or Wario, and you're attempting to take down an evil scientist who has stolen Mario's megavitamins, which he uses to treat his patients. The cutscenes are in a paper cutout style with text on screen. It doesn't push the console to its limits by any means, and I think that you'll either enjoy or dislike the art style. It's really down to personal taste. Speaking of the graphics though, these are very basic, and whilst they are sharp enough, the backgrounds are quite dull and in quite a low resolution. Sure, it doesn't distract you from focusing on the game, however some nice high-res backgrounds wouldn't have been a problem to have put into the game and improved its overall presentation. And sadly too, the music is one of the weakest aspects of the game. All of the MIDI music does the job, but there's just a single new piece of background music, and so if you've played the previous games, you'll be wondering what exactly you've paid for when picking this title up. The price, however, though, was the game's main selling point. At only $30 on its release, it was an almost straight to bargain bin title. And at this late stage in the N64 console's life, Nintendo were perhaps not as demanding with the quality they were publishing, and wanted the game to hit shelves to try to prolong the console's lifespan. All in all, the game controls well, it's simple to pick up and play for all the family, and the added 4-player mode can offer a little bit of fun. But ultimately, if you've played any of the previous Dr. Mario games, then there's nothing really here to go out of your way to experience. And so this falls short of some of the console's other awesome puzzle games. So for today's topic of conversation, I want to know what you think the best Dr. Mario game on any system is. Were you a fan of the NES original, or did you love the handheld versions on the go? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments section down below, and until next time.